Draw filing isn't hard, it just takes some patience, and a couple little tips and tricks that we're going to show you here are going to make your draw filing process a little bit easier. Draw filing is the process in which you're taking a machined face on a barrel, just like this one here, and you're filing it to a nice even finish like we have along the top face here of this barrel. This is the 46-inch swamped rice barrel that comes with the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle kit. So in draw filing a barrel like this, I was taught to keep your file at a diagonal like this. A lot of people are going to draw file like this, some will draw file like this, but keeping it at a diagonal like this gives you a nice cross section with your file to keep on that flat. Then I kind of rock the file back and forth gently to make sure that I'm flat on the file, and then I place one thumb on top of that flat so that I know I have pressure across that face. That helps me keep the file from rocking and us ruining the nice edge that we're trying to just refine on the barrel. I'll use my pointer finger or my index finger kind of underneath the file to line up with the other side of the barrel, and I'll do the same thing on this side and placing my thumb on top of the file like so. And that just gives me a nice stable way to work that file down the barrel. After a few strokes, I'll just tap my file and clean it. That keeps us from getting some of these nasty scratches in here that we have to clean up. And then from there, it's just kind of a repeat and keep going until you have the finish you want. After I get this draw filed and before I head to my final assembly, I'll take some nice fine sandpaper and go over the barrel, and then treat it with my bluing or browning solution, however I'm going to finish the barrel. It's just that easy. Somebody said that they were talking to Wallace Gusler once, and he said, art is anything that is nicer than it needs to be.
Not that.
No.
We get caught up that art's only paintings and dancing and something. It's everywhere.
With the faces of my barrel draw filed here, I'm moving on to attaching the underlug. Now this is one of the earlier Kibler kits. I believe all of the current Kibler kits offer the barrel lugs already attached to the Green Mountain barrels. This being one of the earlier rice barrels, this is something that we have to go in and attach, which isn't that big of a deal. It's a relatively simple process, and it's given us a little bit more experience here on building our long rifle. So my lugs are a little bit wider than the channel that is cut for them, so I'm using my dovetail file and taking off 3 or 4 strokes of that file each time and then test fitting the lug again. I don't want to ruin the dovetails that are established here, so I'm just doing a few strokes of the file every time until that lug starts to fit. And as soon as it starts to fit, I'm just going to pound it in and set it. This isn't something like a sight where I'm worried about adjustment. If this is tight all the way through and never moves for its entire life, that's what we want. We don't want this to be adjusting itself. We don't want it to be rocking, anything like that. So you can use a wooden dowel like this, or you can use a metal punch and tap it with a mallet or with a hammer to set this and center it up with the barrel. Using a flat file, I file away the extra parts of the barrel lug that are kind of sticking out away from the barrel sides or the barrel flats that we have here. We want this to be flush going into our stock. So leveling this out is going to give us a cleaner look, and it's going to drop right into the Kibler CNC stock. Next, we use a small electric drill to mark the barrel lugs.
You just want to make sure you're not, like this or something.
Right.
Kind of let your drill bit just slip into that hole. And just a little bit of pressure.
I then use a drill press to drill through the barrel lugs. That way I know that I'm going straight up and down, and I remove any extra material off of the top of the barrel lug. For the rest of my build here, I'm going to be using these temporary barrel pins. They're a lot easier to get in and out, and I don't have any risk of chipping the stock as I'm working. This was a really fun build, and it's even more fun looking back on it now as we put the videos together. So if you want to see the rest of the build, be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us at ilovemuzzleloading.com.